In this video, I'm going to show you how to add photos to a website, pictures. So again, we're starting from the main screen that you get when you log in to Website Tonight, and you go to Design and Launch Page Designer. You click within the block where you want to add the image, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this image and we'll add a new one instead. I like to align the images on the right, so I'm going to do that. So what you do is you put your cursor to the left of the line where you want to have the image show up, or you could make a new line and have it on there if you want it to stand alone. And then you do Insert, Images, and then it says Image Collection or Images, and we'll choose Images. Now, right off, you have a lot of clip art and images that are built in, over 8,000 images. I might add one that's like, if I look up technology, hit search, or computer. There we go. So we have a lot of computers. So maybe I'll add this picture and then hit OK. Now, two things about this. Now, first of all, it's put it at the baseline, what's called the baseline of the line that I'm on, and it's also bigger than I probably want it to be. So if I double click on the image, once you've added it, you can double click on it to affect certain changes on it. Under first of all, we want to resize it. We're on resize to start out with. So up here under edit, and then you have resize. We want to make sure we have this checked, which says keep proportional, which will make it so that when we resize one side, the width, it resizes the height so that the image doesn't get skewed. So let's do 300, and then when we click over, we'll see it's 300 by 200. And then we click on apply. We'd also use a percentage of original. Now we go over to properties, and it has the position of it. And we want to position it on the this is align default, no wrapping. We want to do it on the right, and we want it wrapping so that the text wraps around it. Also, this is where you'd put an alt tag. That's always good to do from a search engine standpoint. You want to have alt tags for your text. Just to round out what you're able to do with the images here, then you can put in a text overlay, and you can choose where, above, below. This is basically a caption. So if I hit OK on that, let's see, now I have it with my caption. Now I want to note something else. You can resize images. I'm going to show you the wrong way to resize images. You can resize images just by dragging them down like this, grabbing the one of the corners, and then just dragging it. Well, that's going to resize it using the browser, which means that the file actually isn't getting any smaller. Only the appearance on the web page gets smaller. Therefore, if you resize it using that system instead of the resize I just showed you, then your pages aren't going to load very efficiently. Again, if you want to delete the picture, you just click on it so it has all the squares, and you hit the delete key. Now, normally we are going to want to add our own images, and in order to add them, it's the same process. We click where we want the mouse. Let's put it lower this time, and then we do insert images, except here you have my images. Now we only have this one image, and it's just because we resized the image and it put it into my images. And then we do upload images, and this is where you can browse and resize an image. Before we do that, I want to show you this. I would recommend that you set this to 800 by 600. It just resizes your images when you upload them. for the web, the odds of you wanting to have an image that's bigger than 800 by 600 is very low. That's going to take up the vast majority of your screen. If you're uploading something that you do want to have really big for some reason, then you'll want to make sure that you change that. But I would always set this to 800 by 600, and then you hit browse. You find the image that you want to add to the site. So once you find the picture, you can double click on it, or you can click on it once to highlight it and then click open. So now I have two files on there. Then I hit upload. It's gonna bring them in, and then I can go back to my images, and you'll see I have two pictures there, and it tells me when I hover over them, okay, this image is 398 by 600. The first number is the width, and the second number is the height. If you get mixed up, you just have to look at the image and say, okay, well, it's not as wide as it is tall, so obviously the width is the first number. This one's 398 by 600 too. So I'm going to click on one of these to highlight it, and then notice you might have a scroll bar here. If you have a scroll bar, you might need to scroll down to click OK. The one highlighting, you click OK. And see, this is exactly what I'm talking about the size. And the initial thing that people want to do is click on it and just resize it, because that would make sense in Word and all of that. But it's just the wrong way to resize something for the web. So I'm going to double click on it. And this time, just to be different, I'm going to use a percentage. I want it to be 25% of the size, and it'll just automatically resize it. So I just do 25% original and hit apply. And then go over to properties, and I want this to be aligned on the right. Actually, here I'll show you something else too. The horizontal padding is good. I always put 10 for the horizontal padding. That makes it so there's more space on the left and right of it. Then click OK. And see, now it's a little picture and it's hovering on the right hand side. Then you hit save, and it's all locked in. So that's how you save an image, insert an image, edit an image. You can also use your favorite, if you have an image editor that you use to resize images and tweak images, you can resize the images yourself using that before you upload them. And that's the most efficient, because then you're not bringing in the bigger pictures. Now all you have to do is publish. And after you make any changes on the website, then in order to make those changes live, you hit publish. Thanks.